The biggest problem I see in men on testosterone aren't caused by testosterone. They're caused by how it's being used. The biggest mistake, large weekly injections. All right, let's get going. Testosterone levels spike, then crash. High peaks increase aromatization. High peaks create estrogen issues, mood swings, acne, water retention, gynecomastia risk, libido fluctuations. This is why I prefer smaller doses, right? More frequent duration, minimum what we're talking about here, twice a week, right? I do mine every other day. Most people can't handle that. Twice a week we're seeing as the minimum that you need to be doing it. So you're splitting your dose in half, right? Let's say you're 120 milligrams a week, split it in half, all right? 60-60. So it will be a Monday, Thursday thing. That's the minimum because we're seeing that's sustainable with people, okay? With patients. Because if you're going more than that, people will be like, oh man, this is too much. Harpooning, you know? But twice a week is sustainable, so we like that. It kind of works for us as a minimum, and it works for the patient, right? Because it's sustainable. The preferred scenario, however, is every other day. And because listen, smaller injections create more stable serum. You got a stable like flow, right? During the week. And it's more of a natural feeling to your body. Reduce fluctuations, improve symptom control. Evidence is mixed on whether they consistently reduce estradiol, but I've noticed it does. Many clinicians will use this approach in men who experience like peaks and troughs, right? So if you're doing this a lot, you need to actually go and get injected more frequently. And remember, this is another mistake I see quite a bit, is men think estrogen is the enemy. No, estrogen is what gives you the libido, so you need it in there, right? You don't need it too much. So men need estradiol. They need it for their libido, erection, mood, bones, cardiovascular health, cognition. Low estrogen level feels terrible. Too much also causes problem. The goal is the balance, not elimination, right? That's why the frequent injections work so well. We don't have to do an aromatase inhibitor. I hate that stuff because that is just making it way more complex than it needs to be, and most of the time causing more problems than needed. So the way we resolve the estrogen issue, the way we keep it high enough for all the positive benefits, but yet, low enough so it doesn't give you that high estrogen problem, is by frequently administering TRT in a week. Okay? Twice a week may work for you. If that doesn't work, go to every other day. So, why would estrogen get too high? Right? When we're trying to balance this. Well, here are a couple things that you're probably doing that turn up your estrogen that you need to stop doing. So, 1, excessive body fat, alcohol use, large testosterone injections once a week, high doses, poor insulin sensitivity, right? The aromatase activity in adipose tissue and the effects of alcohol on the liver metabolism and hormone balance is huge, right? So these two are big ones. We need to really be careful with the alcohol and be careful with having too much fat on our body. So we really need to reduce fat. And that's why a lot of times I say we're going to go with a GLP-3 besides this to really control that weight. Listen, I talked about aromatase inhibitors. I don't like them. They can be useful in selected patients under physician supervision. But routine use is controversial. I don't like it. Potential downsides includes reduced libido, joint pain, mood changes, adverse effects on bone health if estradiol is driven too low. Focus on correction the underlying cause first. What we talked about, right? What we talked about. So, alcohol. Are you still too fat? What's your body percentage? Is the fat in your central? You have central obesity. Get rid of that first, right? And then start injecting twice a week minimum, if not more times a week, and you'll see the difference. Give it time. So why do some men still feel worse on TRT? Okay. High estrogen could be one. Low estrogen could be one. Wrong dose could be one. Polycythemia, uncontrolled obesity, poor diet, alcohol, unrealistic expectations, right? Let me tell you something. Testosterone is not a substitute for good sleep, good nutrition, exercise, specifically resistance training, and overall health. Listen, the lean man wins. Lower body fat generally means less aromatase activity and often easier hormone management. So, what do we do about nutrition? Protein forward. I mean, we need to consume 2 grams of protein per kilogram of ideal body weight. Every meal needs to start with protein. First thing in your mouth, protein, because that basically starts your metabolic engine. That starts, anabolic system in your body. So resistance training is a must. Walking is good. Do it after your meals. Do it on a, empty stomach. When you wake up in the morning, you can do, and short walks. We're not talking long things. You don't have to do 10,000 steps, okay? 7,000, good enough. Insulin sensitivity, we need to look at that, right? We need to manage that. Alcohol, yes, huge. I keep saying it. Alcohol raises aromatase activity, impairs liver function. It can worsen sleep. It can suppress endogenous testosterone, increase inflammation. It contributes to erectile dysfunction. So, reducing alcohol will improve TRT outcome. And I say this because all of us have a drink once in a while, not all of us, most of us, right? And it can get out of hand. You're bored, you drink more. You have more meetings with partners, you drink more. You have special occasions for the people around you, you drink more. So just be careful. Weekends, you drink more. Your cheat day, you drink. Watch that. It can get out of hand very easily. Let's talk about the next thing that it needs to be accompanied with. So with TRT, we need to talk growth hormone and peptides, right? So growth hormone injections, they provide exogenous growth hormone, right? So what that does, it suppresses the body's natural pulsatile growth hormone secretion through feedback mechanism during treatment. It requires medical supervision. Growth hormone secretagogues such as CJC 1295 or Ipamorelin, Testosterone also, they stimulate the pituitary to release more of the body's own GH. I prefer that. Preserve physiological pulsatility better than direct GH administration. Now you can go direct GH if you really want that. You have issues with the peptides. That's fine, but just remember, it's gonna basically stop your pituitary from producing it, and it's just gonna be artificially put in your body. And a lot of people prefer not having that, just stimulating your own. Also, it tends to produce more moderate increases in IGF-1, which is where we check if it's working. It still requires medical oversight, and It's not appropriate for everyone, and these are the peptides. So we need to look at that. And the reason we do a GH or we do a peptide is because we're looking at IGF-1 levels and we want to optimize those, right? Neither approach has been proven as a general anti-aging therapy for healthy adults, and treatment decisions should be individualized. That's what I'm saying. So you need to talk to your doctor about it and how you're going to put it together. So what does the complete TRT foundation, right, look like before optimization? Resistance training 3 to 5 times a week. Protein forward, 1.8 to 2 kilograms per kilogram of body weight per day. Healthy body composition. Men, it's around 15%. That's that's where you want to be at, about just around there. Don't go below 10. Stupid. Don't do that. Good sleep, 7 hours. Vitamin D3, K2 if you're not on any heart medications. If you're on heart medications, you might drop the K2. Okay? Talk to your doctor about that. Magnesium if deficient. Omega-3, EPA, DHA for sure, right? Stress management. Of course, what we talked about, you're going to limit alcohol consumption. You're going to do a regular laboratory monitoring, hematocrit, PSA, where appropriate, lipid, liver function, estradiol, testosterone, and other relevant markers. Then optimize testosterone, not the other way around. Okay, once your basis has been set, then we're looking at optimizing. TRT doesn't create healthy men. Healthy habits make TRT work better. Testosterone should amplify a strong foundation, never replace it. If you like this content, give me comments. Give me what I missed. There's a lot in this space. I mean, I could talk about GLP-3s. I can talk about other stuff that we need to include in here. Give me your comments. Let me see what I can do about it. All right? Thank you. Ring the bell notification. Invite friends. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. We want to grow this channel. We're bringing really good content, and we want to keep doing that. Thank you so much.